Hey guys, Dan Catuccio here. So I wanted to address one of the most common questions that I think that I have gotten ever since I've been playing the piano, and that is how is it that you figure out a song on the piano after you've heard it? Um, is that conventional? That like most people that I've seen like take lessons and read music, right? And that's a perfectly fair question. And the big answer is, how do I put music from my brain that I've heard from a radio or a movie onto the piano? And I can't say that I know exactly how that is. Okay, I'm grateful to God that I've gotten this gift where they call it playing by ear. Okay, I know people that do it in different instruments, and it's fantastic, and I'm grateful for it. So what happens is I'll hear a movie song or a song on the radio, and what speaks to me is, of course, like anyone, right? Songs that we gravitate to, songs that we love, here, and that kind of climb their way into our brains. Like for example, Encanto, right? That was a movie that my family and I used to watch a lot. In fact, they're watching it right now as we speak. Songs from that movie, I would hear them over and over. I would love a few of them, right? And then I'd be like, I know that I can put this on the piano, okay? And I would love doing that because it's a joy to be able to bring that to life. And the same goes for any song that I enjoy, right? So I watched a piano or a violin cover the other day, last week, of Love Me Like You Do, by Ellie Goulding. And that song just spoke to me when I heard the violinist playing it. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, I need to learn that on the piano. And so I played with it for a day or two. And that's when I recorded that song last week, where my wife and I were dancing around like the countryside, making each other laugh and being goofy. And that's kind of who we are. And we just make each other laugh. So that is what it is. But anyways, putting that song onto the piano was a joy because I loved hearing it, and putting it and bringing it to life. All right. So when I grew up playing the piano, and I took lessons when I was like 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. I stopped when I was going into high school because it got to be too much with my schedule, whatever. Okay, but point I'm trying to make is I did the whole classically trained thing where I took classical music and I played that, and I drove my teacher crazy because I would play a song and then I would like add my own little stuff to it. And she'd be like, that's not what's on the sheet. And I'm like, I know, but I like the way this sounds. And she's like, but it's not on the sheet, you know? And people who play by ear, I know, can resonate with me right now because they're like, they might have learned a specific way that people learn to play the piano or something else, and then they find themselves playing their own thing and bringing it to life, whether it's the violin or the piano or the guitar. And for those who do it and who can resonate with me, I know that you are able to understand the joy that comes with that, because it really is one of those gifts that I'm just so grateful for. So what are the pros and cons, right? Because and I'm not, trust me, I'm not patting myself on the back. It's a joy that I have and I'm grateful for it, but I'm not some super phenom, right? Because I know there's a lot of people who can play chords and runs like crazy, that I can't. And that's a beautiful thing in its own for them, right? Some people love jazz. Some people love classical. For me, I tend to resonate more with like soft, elegant pop. The Greatest Showman. A lot of music that we hear on. I mean, I'll do Rihanna. I'll do Coldplay. I'll do Ed Sheeran. All these songs that kind of resonate. Justin Bieber. I like to bring it to life and do like my own little kind of elegant twist on it for my cocktail hours and all the stuff that I do for weddings and events, right? So the pros and cons, I would say the pros, man, wedding brides, grooms will reach out to me before they book me and they'll say, Dan, it's kind of contingent upon, our booking is kind of contingent upon you knowing how to play this song. Do you think you can learn this opening to Titanic, My Heart Will Go On? And I'll hear it and I'll tell them I'll be like, listen, yes, I can learn that for you. And then I'll record it for them and they're like, yeah. And then they book me and it's fun and it's cool, right? And it's exciting. And I'm like, thank you, God, that you've given me that gift to be able to bring that to life. And so that's how the weddings go for me. Is they'll have this vision, and I'll be able to tell them if if it's a song that I personally don't think will resonate well on the piano or be able to be transcribed to the piano well, I'll tell them that. And if they still want to hear it, I'll give them my best shot, but I'll know pretty quickly oftentimes if it's going to be able to come to life or not, right? As far as disadvantages, right, I can't be the guy that you call to go lead the orchestra on a whim because someone canceled. You can't put sheet music in front of me and say, Dan, go, right? I haven't read sheet music in 30 years, okay? It's like everything that you hear me playing on my channel, it's all stuff that doesn't have sheet music, right? And so there's the pros and cons of all of it. I'm grateful because I love playing the piano and I love bringing music to life that I hear. So one thing that I would say would be a cool challenge for you, to me from you, is if you have a song that you haven't heard covered on the piano or you'd like to hear me cover, and you think it'll be beautiful on the piano, I would love to hear what you've got for me. And that way I can see what I can do to bring it to life. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Love you guys and have a good night.